Hi guys, today's topic is going to be quite interesting and we will have a brief discussion about effectiveness of yoga, pilates and weight training for general population only. First of all, let's start with yoga. As we all know that yoga is an ancient meditative practice and it has been around for more than 5000 years, whereas pilates is just about 100 years old. It was created in 1920s for the purpose of rehabilitation. Some of the first people treated by pilates were soldiers returning from the war to strengthen their injured bodies and heal their aches and pain. Now let's cut to the chase and jump into the key question here. Clinton, how should we differentiate yoga, pilates and strength training as far as health and fitness is concerned?
So it all depends on your goals. In the end, it depends on your goals. What are you looking to do? Are you looking to lose some body fat? Are you looking to put on some muscle mass? Are you looking to look better? Are you looking to be healthier? Are you looking to get stronger? So it all depends on your goals. I think majority of the people fall into these brackets, about 5 or 6 different goals. So traditionally, let's say that yoga has been dated to, I don't know, maybe 5,000 years ago. Strength training or strength, a human's ability to create strength or to exert strength or strength as a requirement has existed much longer than that. So we are looking to build some muscle mass. I think that's the major drawback of today's generation and how human beings are different from, let's say, how they were 100 years or 200 years ago. When human beings used to do a fair amount of labor, of course it reduced over the course of time, but human beings used to do heavy labor, or not very heavy labor, but heavy enough labor, whether it was carrying things around, carrying other human beings around, hunting, things like that. So the labor part of human beings is missing these days. The most a human being will end up doing is carrying his backpack, and maybe a mother would be carrying her kids around, stuff like that. As far as the health is concerned, this is the missing element. Now, what you want to do is you want to look at what addresses that part the best. What addresses the fact that human beings are not doing any heavy labor these days. Strength training addresses that the best. What is the other missing element? What is the other element in terms of your physical fitness that's very essential for your health? And that is cardiovascular health. Okay, so strength and cardio are your building blocks as far as your health is concerned. There is no substitute for strength because of your musculoskeletal health. You need to have a certain amount of muscle mass, and you need to have a certain amount of cardiovascular capacity to keep your heart healthy, your lungs healthy. These two things cannot be compromised. There's no bargaining with these two. Yoga, of course, I'm not a yoga expert, but at the same time, yoga is done for spiritual reasons and it's a meditative art form. And we all know that Pilates has been created as a form of rehab. Of course, it's gone a little bit more mainstream now, but Pilates is traditionally made for rehab. A reformer is designed so that people who were bedridden and could move around would have their muscles stimulated. It's a very good art form, but you have to know what you're doing this for. What I feel like is a lot of people don't really know what they're doing Pilates for. So when you ask them that question, they say it's alignment and they say it's weight loss. They say all sorts of things, but they don't really know what it is for. Let's say that every human being needs a little bit of rehab with the kind of lifestyle that we live in. Do you really want to make rehab a mainstream form or a mainstream part of your exercise? Neglecting strength training and neglecting cardio, you don't want that. You want strength training, you want to build musculoskeletal strength, and you want to build cardiovascular strength as your number 1 or number 2, whichever you want to place them, whichever way you want to place first. Those are your 2 building blocks of fitness. Let's get into the other aspects a little bit later, whether it's body composition and all of that. These are your 2 building blocks. The other 2 forms, whether it's yoga or Pilates, have to be done for the right reason. If you don't know why you're doing these art forms, then you should really give this a thought. You should really give this a serious thought.
But recently we have been seeing that it has become a lot popular among celebrities. And what do you think about it?
So, the celebrities and upper segment, or however they want to differentiate themselves, always want to be doing something new. They want to be wearing different clothes because they have to differentiate themselves from regular people. They want to go to different places. They want to eat different foods. They want to talk differently. They want to, everything's different about a celebrity is basically trying to differentiate himself. So they traditionally take up to something that's a little bit more trendy because Pilates is reached mainstream a little bit late. So a lot of them take it up. And the other reason that a lot of people take up Pilates is, of course, a lot of them are confused about getting stronger. Pilates is not the best way to get strong, that's for sure. But the reason that a lot of people pick Pilates is because Pilates is a slower form. Expertise in strength training is not found everywhere. The whole aspect of strength training, of course, strength training is very, very important. But formalizing strength training and the quality of strength training really, really matters. So in today's day and age, probably there would be about 20 or 30% of fitness professionals who would know how to cater really, really well to regular folk, to folk who are past 40 years of age, people who are prone to injury, stuff like that. The whole fitness industry, it's a very, very long answer. The quality of strength training in our market is mostly low. Now it's reached a point where strength training, there's a lot of good trainers around, but traditionally the trainers, the kind of formalization that we have in the strength training industry is very, very low. We don't have fitness trainers who've been around for 5 or 10 years and trained thousands of people. Our certifications are barely 3 months. Of course, it's getting to the point where there's a lot more requirement for certifications and things like that. If you had to study to be a lawyer, you would have to study for at least 5 years and do a few years of internship. If you had to study to be a medical professional, you would need a similar amount of time. The fitness industry typically needs the requirement to be a trainer is very, very minimal. Because of that, the quality of a fitness trainer most likely is not going to be at standard, which is why it's deterred a lot of people from strength training, because a lot of people have not been able to find the right amount of volume, the kind of intensity, the right form. They've not found themselves the expertise, rather. They've not found the expertise, or they've not found themselves a right trainer. So because they've not found a right trainer for themselves, they end up choosing safer art forms like Pilates and yoga to get the results that they would otherwise get much better with strength training.
But I have seen many trainers make their clients do a lot of random stuff. What do you think about it?
So what does a typical person in Mumbai or Delhi or any big city, what do they really, really want? What do they associate with a great workout? They associate tiredness as a great indicator of how well the person's worked out. A lot of people feel like the more exhausted they get, the more fat they're burning. And so what a trainer typically does is he tries to get his client tired. Now, getting tired and doing a very difficult workout is very different from doing an effective workout. They both are not the same. So what a client will do is he will ask the trainer to get him exhausted. And the trainer feels like he needs to spew in as much variety as possible. So what the trainer will do is he will feel like if he doesn't give the client the variety that the client is demanding, then he's not going to be around, and the client's going to go elsewhere. Yeah. A trainer typically does not have the confidence to teach the fundamentals to a client. Namely, what are the fundamentals that are going to give you the results, like we discussed in the last video, is compound movements with a decent amount of weight, great form, and a fair amount of range of motion. This is what is going to get you the results. Now, this is all very simple, but you keep perfecting these things and you get better at them. The formula is very simple. You don't really change your exercises that much. You get better at the same exercises you do. But trainers feel typically that a client wants a lot of variety, because if you don't teach him that variety, he's going to train on his own. So that's why trainers tend to feed clients with as much variety as they can. Of course, clients are very demanding also. They feel like more is better. It's just the time and the generation we live in. Our attention spans are getting lesser. So we feel like more is better. So what happens is the client will keep asking for more. He will ask for more variety. Where is the client getting all this information from? He's getting this information from Instagram. He's getting this information from his friends, his family, and influencers, of course, yeah, Instagram. So, and celebrities. So celebrities, friends, Instagram, that's where the client is getting all this information from, because Instagram is supposed to make more content for you. This content that you get on Instagram is more to keep you entertained. Okay, that entertainment does not mean that this is going to work for you.
So if someone's goal is to look good and get fit, what do you think is the best form of training? Is it going to be yoga, Pilates, or weight training?
So let's just put a third aspect into it: looking good, being fit, and of course being healthy. So yoga has a more spiritual side to it, has a meditative side to it. Pilates has an element of rehab to it. Do you really need them? No. Will they benefit you? Maybe they will benefit you if you really need the rehab element, and if you really need that mind and body connection, and if you need the whole spiritual aspect to your training, maybe it will help you. But the requirements for health, musculoskeletal health and cardiovascular fitness is strength training and cardiovascular health. You need to have musculoskeletal health and you need to have cardiovascular health. For that you need to strength train and you need to do cardio. Who are the human beings that don't need to do this? That don't need strength training and don't need cardio? Let's say fishermen, construction workers, farmers. What are they doing? They're lifting weights, they're doing heavy labor. If you have these activities, if you're a farmer, if you're a fisherman, if you're a lumberjack, you probably don't need to do strength training or cardio, because you've got those elements in your daily activity already. You're carrying weights and you're moving for a prolonged period of time. Your heart rate is staying elevated. So you've got strength and you've got the element of cardio in your training already. So you don't need to strength train if you've got heavy labor already included in your activity. But if you're not a human being who has any heavy labor, you need to strength train and you need to do cardiovascular training. These are of utmost importance. I would say yoga and Pilates will never compare to these as far as your health is concerned.